And we're back. So here's the actual official start of part two. I kind of went off on a tangent about the unstoppable mechanic, which you'll find another video that I posted. It's about 10 or 11 minutes long. I think it's 11 minutes long. Um, and I was going to just add it as an add-on to the beginning of this, but instead I wound up just going on and on about it because it's a really neat concept. So check that video out if you're interested in the crawl worm that deals damage as though it wasn't blocked to a player. So moving on from that, I'm going to throw out some facts that I actually looked up because we really, started finding out that it might not be instants in this set. So here are some quick facts about Portal's Second Age that I picked up from the interweb. So it came out in '98. Obviously, it's part 2 from Portal, which I'll throw a review on that. Portal's alright. I think this is the more interesting set. It has the better artwork, in my opinion. The mechanics are a little bit better. There's a lot more reprints from this set than from the original Portal. So that's why we're going this review. So there are no artifacts in this set. There are no enchantments, no instants, no interrupts, which at that time, interrupts and instants were kind of considered different. But now they're not. They're the same thing. It was the first set to say creature instead of summon and to give a subtype to that creature. So a lot of times it would say summon goblin, right? And technically the goblin is a subtype, right? However, this denotes that it is a creature and then gives a subtype. So it's the first one to do that. It actually is set in Dominaria, but it's set on the island of Kulaman. There are no legendaries from the set, and that's why when we were looking at the Darkmoor Sorceress, I was like, oh, this should be a legendary. It kind of is. So the Darkmoor Sorceress represents Tojira, the Swamp Queen, which is the queen of all the Night Stalkers that you see in here. And she's one of the main antagonists of the story. It's actually a pretty neat little story. A note about the guns is that at the time that it was released, people hated it because there were so many guns in the images. Not because it was violent, that wasn't really the problem. It was just that it seemed out of place, and they said that it was too realistic, too close to real life, and that's why they didn't like the guns. I mean, I get that, but we've seen guns since then in Magic. We've seen all types of different types of artifacts and artifice. I think they're fantastic guns. They seem to be, fantasy enough for me. They've got a neat little aesthetic that's really the only thing that you'll find in this set that you'll see that type of aesthetic on the guns. But yeah, those are some neat little facts about this set, if you're wondering. Definitely something worth looking up, and definitely cards worth playing. So let's get back into it. We had just finished up getting into the goblins, and now there's going to be quite a few of them. So I think that a lot of Goblin Tribal cards, if you're building a commander deck, would come from this. So Goblin Lore is the first one up. So 1 red, 1 colorless, draw 4 cards, and put them into your hand. Then discard 3 cards at random from your hand. So, not too bad. You're, almost willing yourself. I think that this is pretty solid because you've got, you're paying that 2. You can stack your graveyard, right? If you need to, and you're drawing those 4. Even if you're not able to keep most of the cards that you wanted off of that draw, maybe you're able to chunk a bunch of crap that you didn't want. Maybe you're able to stock your graveyard. And for only 2, this is a pretty solid investment, in my opinion. I would play the heck out of this, and I'm sure a lot of people do as well. Goblin Matron. So 1 red, 2 colorless, 1/1. When Goblin Matron enters play from your hand, search your library for a goblin card and put that card into your hand. Shuffle your library afterwards. This is absolutely a staple. I remember getting my butt kicked by this all the time because my cousin would play a Goblin Tribal deck, and he would just whoop me every time because he was so fast. And Goblin Matron's just a great way to tutor. Goblin Mountaineer, 1 red, has Mountain Walk, so that's something. Let's see here. Got Goblin Piker, and Goblin Raider. So Piker is 1 red, 1 colors for 2/1. And then Raider is a 2/2 for 2 that can't block. Goblin Warcry, 1 red, 2 colors. Your opponent chooses one of his or her creatures. Only that creature can block this turn. Well, how about that? You know, that's another one to add to the list for the Thantis, you know? Oh, Goblin Warcry. If you don't have your Thantis out, you can play this. That's another thing. I spoiled that we're going to be building a Thantis deck, so, and I took a little bit of the review that I was doing on those cards will be going into the Thantis, so that's something to look forward to. Goblin Warstrike. So 1 red, Goblin Warstrike deals to your opponent damage equal to the number of Goblin cards you have in play. Why not, right? Absolutely bomb card for Goblin Tribal. Golden Bear. So this is what an adult bear looks like. So 1 green, 3 colorless, 4/3. Not bad. Hand of Death. It's got a poor little baby bear there. So 1 black, 2 colors. Destroy any 1 creature that isn't black. And they're going after a poor baby bear. How could they? Great art, though. Just absolutely macabre art. You know, it's like a vampiric hand. The touch of death is never gentle. That's not ominous at all. I love it. That's a great card. That's a wonderful black card. So then we've got here Harmony of Nature. 1 green, 2 colors. Tap any number of your creatures. You gain 4 life for each creature tapped this way. I mean, yeah, it's okay. If you're really hard up for gaining life, yeah, go for it. If you got a bunch of tokens, I mean, I can see it. Me personally, I wouldn't do anything with this. Hidden Horror. What a wild looking card. So 2 black, 1 colorless for a 4/4. When Hidden Horror comes into play from your hand, choose and discard a creature card from your hand or destroy Hidden Horror. Hey, easy peasy way to stock your graveyard, right? If you really need to discard those creatures to play them again with Reanimate, Hidden Horror's got your back. And a 4/4 for 3, why not? Play Horror Tribal. Do it. Hurricane. Oops. 1 green X deals X damage to each player and each creature with flying. So that's how you get the ones in the air. Iron Hoof Ox. Iron Hoof Ox can't be blocked by more than 1 creature. How about that? So it's got 2 green and 3 colorless. He's a 4/4. So that's a cool little combat trick there. I like that he's pissed. Just absolutely pissed. You know, also he's got moose horns is what it looks like. So interesting depiction of an ox. Let's see. The good news is it's vegetarian. The bad news is it just doesn't like you. Oh, it's snappy. We got a little island with the, you know, a government weather balloon right here. If you're really into UFOs, you know that's probably, it's probably fake. It's probably a UFO. Then we got Jag Lightning. 2 red, 3 colorless. Choose any 2 creatures. Jag Lightning deals 3 damage to each of them. Oh, that's not bad. You're doing 3 damage split to 2 creatures for 5. It's not too bad. And we've got Justice. No, Just Fate. So, white, 2 colorless. Another one of the semi-instants. Play Just Fate only after you attack before you declare blockers. Destroy any 1 attacking creature. Pretty common white crap. Kiss of Death. Oh, man. And this, another Melissa A. Benson art. I'm telling you, man, I love her art. If you've not seen Lord of the Pit, I don't know what to tell you. So 2 black, 4 colorless. Kiss of Death deals 4 damage to your opponent. You gain 4 life. I mean, a little bit steep for that effect, but it's a cool looking card. I'm sure that is the Tojira, the Swamp Queen, maybe. I don't know. I just think that's a cool card. Lava Axe. I mean, come on. 1 red, 4 colors, 5 damage to your opponent. Sorcery speed. Why wouldn't you want that, I remember I played Burn quite a bit, too, once I moved from white. I went straight into red. We played a lot of monocolor. We didn't really play multicolor until Invasion came out, like 2001, 2002. There wasn't enough multicolor support, and the multicolor cards we had, they weren't that great. They were, so most of the time you would just do monocolor. Plus, we didn't have the best mana base. We didn't have any of the dual lands, because they came out before, we played. We weren't really too invested in the game. I wish we were. I would probably be rich by now. Anyway, I just appreciate that art. because you've got that, lava melting axe that's coming out. I hate to have that slung at me. Oh, hey, Lone Wolf. We're looking at this during the 10-minute review that I put on the Unstoppable mechanic. So it's a 2/2 for 3. So 1 green, 2 colors. If Lone Wolf attacks and is blocked, you may choose to have it deal its damage to the defending player instead of to the creature blocking it. So it's another Unstoppable mechanic. Lurking Night Stalker. 2 black, 1/1. If Lurking Night Stalker attacks, it gets +2/+0 until end of turn. So it becomes a 3/1 for 2. Not bad. Lynx. I used to like this art because I thought it was he's a cool cat. Forest Walk for 2/1 with 1 green, 1 colors. Magma Giant. 2 red, 5 colors. When it comes into play from your hand, it deals 2 damage to each creature and player. So you're getting a ETB doing 2 damage to everything for 7 and a 5/5 body. I mean, it's alright. There's worse board wipes, I think. Mind Rot. So 1 black, 2 colors. Your opponent chooses and discards 2 cards in their hand. Moaning Spirit is a black, 2 colors, flying 2/1. Monstrous Growth. Any 1 creature gets +4/+4 until end of turn. Sorcery Speed. 1 black, 1 green. Oh, I'm sorry. 1 green, 1 black. Yeah. Cut that out. Nah. So 1 green, 1 colors. Yeah, I remember playing this one quite a bit. Mountain. That was a great visual of a mountain. Muck Rats, 1 black, 1/1. So it's a rat. If you're doing rat tribal. Mystic Denial. 2 blue, 1 colors. Play Mystic Denial only in response to another player playing a creature or a sorcery. That card has no effect, and that player puts it into his or her graveyard. So, and that's pretty much a counter spell on a stick. So this is actually a reprint of Mystic Denial, which is an instant speed. And you can counter creature or spell. It doesn't have to be sorcery. Natural Spring. I remember playing this thinking it was so good because you paid 2 green, 3 colors to gain 8 life. How dumb was that? Nature's Lore. 1 green, 1 color. Search your library for a forest card. Put that into play. Shuffle your library afterwards. You got, 3 wishes or something like that? Well, Nature's Lore, you're going to put it into play. You're not tapping it or anything like that. You're just going to get keyword forest. So that's actually a pretty solid. It's been reprinted quite a few times. If you're doing ramp and you have specific dual cards or the pain lands or something like that, then you find that you'll want to play these 2 drops and maybe even 3 drops that go get a specific name land, and in this case a forest keyword, and put that into play. It's more useful than paying 3 and getting 2 lands into play tapped, or 1 on the field, 1 in your hand. Because really, you just want to pay 2 for a good ramp. Or maybe 1, if you can get it that cheap. Night Stalker Engine. Look, man, I just love this art. It's just so ridiculous and over the top. So, black, 4 colorless for a star 3. Night Stalker Engine has power equal to the number of creature cards in your graveyard. I mean, it's just hilarious looking. You got Night Stalkers. They've got their guns, but they got this crazy looking... maybe it's biomechanical, maybe it's completely mechanical engine that they're running on. It's part metal, part bone, and all death. That's pretty fine. Norwood Archers. 1 green, 3 colorless. Norwood Archers can block creatures with flying, so it has reach. It's a 3/3. Norwood Priestess. 2 green, 2 colors. On your turn, before you attack, you may tap Norwood Priestess to put any green creature from your hand into play without paying for it. I know that this card is probably one of the expensive ones from this set, because I think I've seen it before. But that's a fantastic effect. You can tap her to put a green creature from your hand into play without paying its mana cost. Why wouldn't you want that? Norwood Ranger. I always thought this was a cool elf. When I think of elves, this is what I think of, the Ranger. 1 green for a 1/2. So, pretty solid. Elf Tribal, get at me. Norwood Riders. 1 green, 3 colorless. So this is elf plural, so it's elves. Obviously it's an elf. But Norwood can't be blocked by more than 1 creature. So how about that? But I think that's funny. It's elves. It's a collection of elves. It's not just an elf. Norwood Warrior. 1 green, 2 colors. If Norwood Warrior attacks and is blocked, it gets +1/+0 until end of turn. So that's a cool one. You can make it a 3/3. Obsidian Giant. I like this because you've got like the cat warriors hanging out with this guy, and it's 1 red, 4 colors for a 4/4. After a while, ships stop sailing within his reach. Oh, that's hilarious. He looks like he's probably just. Oh, he's got a. He's holding on to a mast of a ship. I never really noticed that before. That's pretty good. Ogre Arsonist. 1 red, 4 colors. 3/3. When Ogre Arsonist comes into play from your hand, destroy any one land. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. So you get a pretty much a stone rain and a 3/3 body for 5. So I think that's pretty solid. Ogre Berserker. 1 red, 4 colors. It's unaffected by summoning sickness for 4/2. So a haste for 5. I mean, that's pretty good. You know, if you want to go Ogre Tribal, you know, you can't go wrong with this one. You've got Ogre Taskmaster, and he doesn't work. He watches the goblins work, you know. So 1 red, 3 colors. He can't block 4/3. Ogre Warrior. I always just like the art of this guy, right? So 1 red, 3 colors. He's a 3/3. That's it. Assault and battery included. That's a good one. Yeah, I just like the art of this guy. I just thought it was cool. Path of Peace. White, 3 colors. Destroy any one creature. That creature's owner gains 4 life. Yes. Piracy. If you don't know what Piracy is, man, you're missing out. It's a fantastic card. I think it's like, I don't know, $30. Picked one up a while back. You can probably get one for 25. So 2 blue. This turn, you may tap your opponent's lands to help you pay for your spells. Hooray. So a lot of times you can do this to sketch somebody out, you know, make them tap their stuff, move on to the next phase so that you can have their lands tapped so you can play spells. So it's kind of an indirect counter spell. I mean, if somebody played this on their turn, I'm just going to empty my mana pool because I don't want them to have my mana. If I'm playing instant speed spells and I'm relying on that, this hurts quite a bit from my opponent, right? But if they don't really care, if they're just playing creatures and sorceries and enchantments and stuff, they're not playing instants, it really doesn't matter. But it's a solid one. You'd have to, you know, there are cards that give things split second. So what you could do is you could play Piracy and split second it. So I think that would be really cool, so that you actually could pull that off. I don't know. I haven't played it quite yet. I have it. I just haven't felt like building that blue control deck that this would go into. Then you got a Plains, and we got Plated Worm. So 1 green, 4 colors for a 4/5 with no ability. And then Predatory Night Stalker. So 2 black, 3 colors, and Predatory Night Stalker comes into play from your hand. You may force your opponent to destroy any one of his or her creatures, but your opponent chooses. So you're not really forcing them. They just have to destroy one. But, yep, another Night Stalker. He's got his own little engine or something rolling around. Again, the art is really what drove me to it. So let's go to page 2. If it will shift over. Aha, here we go. Loading up fresh. So we start off with some more Night Stalkers. And Prowling is really the one that I picked it up from this collection that I bought, and I was like, man, I remember these guys. I want to go ahead and try to build a deck with them, and so that's what I did. This was the one that kicked it off. So 1 black, 3 colors, 2/2. Prowling Night Stalker can't be blocked except by other black creatures. So because there are no artifacts in this set, right? This is what I read about this guy. That's why they didn't give him fear. Also, they didn't want to have fear as an evergreen mechanic at the time, even though they already had placed it out there as a mechanic. So, interesting fact about that. That's why it says other black creatures. So, there's kind of a workaround. So, I think that he actually does have fear on Oracle, so that he can be blocked by artifact creatures, but I'm not sure. You really have to be hard up to want to play this guy. Or you could be like me and you want to play him because he goes in your Night Stalker Tribal deck. Anyway, Raging Goblin, 1 red. Come on, it's a 1/1 with haste. Everybody knows what Raging Goblin is. Raging Night Stalker, 1 black, 2 colors, 2/2, Swamp Walk. Then we got Raynas Daggers. Oh man, I've been trying to get my hands on Raynas Daggers for a while, and there aren't many copies of Raynas Daggers, even on TCG Player. There's 2 of them, and they're in moderately played condition, and I kind of want a light played one because I like it a lot. Again, it's that Benson art that we've been talking about, and that's really why I want it, is in a light play condition, because I feel like a lot of these board wipes, they might go up in value. People want different alternatives, or they just want to do an entire board wipe deck. So you got 2 black, 4 colorless. You've got these obsidian daggers raining down in the picture. It's really awesome. Destroy all your opponent's creatures. For each creature destroyed this way, you'll lose 2 life. You can kill yourself. Pretty easy with this. But I'm running it in. I also want to get a copy so I can run it in that Night Stalker mono black deck that I'm building with the Ilson Shade as the commander. So Raynas Dead. Returning 1 creature from your graveyard to your hand for 1 black. And this is unique because it has specifically art from the set, specific to the set, which is a Night Stalker in some kind of, biotube. So life is from death is part of the natural cycle. This is merely a shortcut, which is Tojira, the Swamp Queen. Alright, Rally the Troop, 1 white. Play Rally the Troops only after you've attacked before you declare blockers. Untap all your creatures. So how about that? Ravenous Rats, 1 black, 1 colorless. Whenever Snaps comes into play from your hand, your opponent chooses to discard a card from his or her hand. Why not? For 2, you're going to discard off of your opponent. Plus you can play Rat Tribal. Interesting enough about these rats is that rats really fuck shit up whenever you're talking about making people discard stuff. I know that somebody was talking to me about wanting to build a Turgid Yacht of Fright deck, and I kind of started going into Rat Tribal without realizing it, because there are 2 rats from the Kamigawa block, and both of them decrease your opponent's hand size by a certain number. So one of them, like the 5-drop, I think, decreases your all opponents' hand sizes by 2, and the 3-drop or 2-drop decreases opponent's hand size by 1. And I think that's a really good ability, because you're forcing an end-of-turn discard, plus their rats. And then also went with one of the Shinobi rats that ninjutsu's in, and when he deals damage to an opponent, that player discards a card. So you could go Rat Tribal, and Ravenous Rats would be a good one to do it in. They're cheap. You're getting cheap discards. You're getting bodies on the field. You sacrifice them later. Just something to think about. Here's another bear. 2 green, 2 colors for a 3/3. Frieza Crawler attacks and is blocked. It gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Ah, yes, here we go. Relentless Assault. One of the big bombs from the set. One of the more expensive cards. So 2 red, 2 colorless. Untap all your creatures that attack this turn. You may declare an additional attack this turn. Perfect, perfect, perfect. It's been reprinted a couple times, so it's not too awful expensive. But, it's a good one to pick up. So remove 1 blue. You play remove only after you've attacked before you declare blockers. Return any 1 attacking creature to its owner's hand. Renewing Touch, 1 green. Choose any number of creature cards in your graveyard and shuffle them in your library for 1. I love Renewing Touch. A lot of people gloss over these, like this, Feldon's Cane, Skull something. Anyway, all these abilities, all these cheap cards that let you shuffle your graveyard into your library, it's fantastic. This is at sorcery speed, so it's not fast, but there are instant speed abilities and spells that do this, that let you shuffle your graveyard into your library. I run at least 1 or 2, sometimes 3, but most of the time it's maxed out at 2. Cards like this that have this effect in almost all of my decks that I can put them into, because you stack your graveyard up. What if you're getting milled by somebody, which is a viable strategy. If I'm playing, Crumbling Citadel or Sanctuary, Crumbling Sanctuary, where for each point of damage my creatures are doing to you, you mill a card, then you probably want to be able to take all those cards that are built into your graveyard and shuffle them back into your library. For the instant speed ones, what if somebody's going to exile your graveyard? You don't want that. You want to shuffle it back in. So any ability that's like this, you might want to pick up. And for a 1 green, And this card itself, it's probably like 5-10 cents. You know, I don't think it'd be more than that. Return of the Night Stalker. So this is the one tribal Night Stalker spell that I know of. And this is what really got me to want to build this deck. So 2 black, 5 colorless. So 7 mana. Return all Night Stalker cards from your graveyard to play. Then destroy all your swamps. Why the hell not? Right? You also you're not destroying your swamps. You're actually sacrificing your swamps. So you can get a sacrifice trigger off of Return to Night Stalkers. So this is, to me, a hilarious card. If you play Ashes to Ashes, then you can make all of your creatures in your graveyard Night Stalkers, because Ashes to Ashes says that all those cards that are in your graveyard share a creature type. So you can do that. But yeah, you're destroying all your swamps, which to me is just, absolutely hilarious. You could do things with this. You'll be sacrificing them, so you can get your sacrifice triggers off of those. But yeah, it's not a very good card. But for a jank tribal obscure tribe deck, I'm doing it. You can't stop me, and you probably wouldn't want to stop me anyway, because I'll probably only have like 4 Night Stalkers, because I think there's only like 10 in total. There's not many, honestly. And that's barring doing changelings. And I'm honestly just going to do mono black, so I'm not getting a lot of changelings out of that. Maybe 2 or 3 on top of that. So I may have technically like maybe 16 Night Stalkers, and I doubt that I would have them all in my graveyard, unless I mill the hell out of myself. So here we go. Righteous Charge, 2 white. All your creatures get 2/2 until end of turn. So Anthem effect. Righteous Fury, 2 white, 4 colors. Destroy all tap creatures. For each creature destroyed this way, you gain 2 life. So how about that? That's a pretty good board wipe. But they have to be tapped, so you got to figure that one out. So not too great. So River Bear, a 3/3 bear for 1 green, 3 colors. It has Island Walk. Nice commons, hanging out in the water there. Salvage. Take any one card from your graveyard, put that card on top of your library. This has been reprinted quite a few times. Another effect that I really like, I like the salvage abilities. Again, it'd be better if it could go into your hand, but let's say that you're playing off the top of your library, or that you get a free cast off the top of your library. This is absolutely necessary for that type of deck. And for 1 green, how much cheaper do you want it to be? Free cast would be great, but 1 green's good too. We're getting into some Drakes, I suppose. So Screeching Drake, 1 blue, 3 colors, 2/2. When it comes into play from your hand, draw a card, then choose and discard a card from your hand. It has flying. And then Sea Drake, 1 blue, 2 colors. When Sea Drake comes into play from your hand, return any 2 of your lands from play to your hands. That's even worse. You would really, what you're looking at though is a 4/3 flyer for 3. So that's pretty good, I suppose. That's why you're taking those 2 lands back. And if you're doing landfall, it's not a big deal. Oh, Sleight of Hand. Oh, man. Look, 1 blue. Look at the top 2 cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand and the other on the bottom of your library. So, this is a great card because it's pretty much scry on a stick. And you're able to scry 2 and put one into your hand, the other on the bottom. So, this is not bad. It's a 1-drop. Spitting Earth. 1 red, 1 colors. Spitting Earth deals to any 1 creature damage equal to the number of mountains you have in play. This is a pretty common one. It's been reprinted a lot. Steam Catapult. 2 white, 3 colors. On your turn before you attack, you may tap Steam Catapult to destroy any 1 tap creature. So how about that? It's not a bad ability. A little bit expensive. That'd be a 3-drop nowadays. Steam Frigate. Oh, that's a really cool ship design. So 1 blue, 2 colors. Steam Frigate. Can't attack unless defending player has an island in play. Yes, because your navy has to be in the water. Stone Rain. Everybody knows what that is. Destroy 1 land for 3. Swamp. And then you've got Swarm of Rats. Swarm of Rats has power equal to the number of rat cards you have in play. And it's a 1 toughness. So you've got 1 black, 1 colors. Then you got Sylvan Basilisk. 2 green, 3 colors. If Sylvan Basilisk attacks and it is blocked, destroy all creatures blocking it. How about that? You do a lure type effect where you're luring them in then you can really hit him hard. And this guy's a 2/4, so he's not too bad. The effect's a little bit steep, but you know, I think it'd be easier just to have a 1/1 death touch. But if you don't have that route, or you just don't want to play it, then I'd go for this. Sylvan Yeti, 2 green, 2 colors. Sylvan Yeti has power equal to the number of cards you have in your hand. Yeah, I mean that's all right, I guess. He's a star 4. Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, now we're getting to some of the ships, and I'll tell you what, man. My favorite thing about Magic at the time was just the predominant amount of flying ships that they had all over the damn place. So these would probably technically be artifacts if they were in any other set at the time, but because they didn't have artifacts in this set, then this is what you get. I mean, they're really neat designs. My favorite ship of all time is Flagship Predator. Take a look at it if you want to at some point. Read some of the Magic Invasion comics at the time. They really flesh them out. These aren't on that level. These would be more like on the Kaladesh side of things. But I don't really like Kaladesh's designs. Kaladesh was a little bit too sleek. So these are more steampunk. I mean, this is a straight up dirigible. So it's a blue with 3 colors for a 3/2 of flying. Then you got Talus Explorer. So 1 blue, 1 colorless. Flying 1/1. When Talus Explorer comes into play from your hand, look at opponent's hand. That's a great card. Talus Merchant. A 1/3 for a blue and a colorless. So Talus, if you want to go Merchant Tribal, oh man, you know what? They have the subtype Merchant, and so I'm wondering if you could actually go Merchant Tribal. You can go Night Stalker Tribal. I might have to look that up and do a video for it and see if that's an actual thing, because Merchant Tribal sounds absolutely hilarious. Well, let's see if they actually change it to something else. Because if it's actually a merchant, then that would be wonderful. If they change it to pirate, yeah, it wouldn't be so good. Well, let's see here. Ah, crap. It's a pirate. Yeah. What a shame. What a missed opportunity. Some of us want to play Merchant Tribal. You know what I mean? They don't want... This is it. You get 2 cards that are merchants. Anyway. Talon Researcher. So blue and 4 colors. On your turn, before you attack, you may tap Talon Researcher to draw a card. And he's a 1/1. Man, if it was 3, like 1 blue, 2 colors, I could probably roll with that. But 5 is a bit much. Talon Scout. 1 blue, 1 colors, flying 1/2. So what was this guy? I was a Talon Explorer. Talon Warrior. 2 blue, 1 colors. Oh, it can't be blocked. It's a 2/2. So how about that? That's pretty cool. That's a nifty little trick. So I'm pretty sure most of these would be pirates. A warrior, Talon Warrior can't be blocked, and it's a pirate. You're doing pirate tribal. Go for it. It'd be cool if it was a merchant. You could do merchant tribal, but I guess that's a little bit too slow. Temple Acolyte. 1 white, 1 colorless. When Temple Acolyte comes into play from your hand, you gain 3 life. Yeah, this is another one that I played quite a bit because I like gaining a life, but I never really did anything else. I might have a bunch of little guys and swing with them. That's probably why I hate white to this day. I'm not very good with it because, at the time it was like, all right, play life and attack with angels. By the time, attack with angels. And then I was introduced to red, and that's whenever, it really changed for me, and I became better. 1 white, 2 colors. Temple Elder. On your turn, before you attack, you may tap Temple Elder to gain 1 life. Then we've got Temporal Manipulation, the big hit for this set. So, 2 blue, 3 colors. Take a turn after this one. Yep. Really cool art, because this little time machine that they're running, or a little, let's see here, maybe a little amulet. It says, doing something at the last minute isn't so bad when you can make that minute last. Cool. Theft of Dreams. Oh, yes. 1 blue, 2 colors. For each tap creature your opponent has in play, you draw a card. Not a bad effect, honestly. Tidal Surge. 1 blue, 1 colors. Tap any 1, 2, or 3 creatures without flying. Time Ebb. 1 blue, 2 colors. Return any 1 creature from play to the top of its owner's library. So that's a neat thing, and then you can mill them out if you want. Touch of Brilliance. 1 blue, 3 colors. Draw 2 cards. So that's what I'm saying, that Ancient Cravings or whatever, that's a pretty solid effect because you're paying, the The 1 black and 3 colors to draw 3, but you lose 3 life. Town Sentry, 1 white, 2 colors. Town Sentry attacks. Well, if it blocks, it gets +0/+2 until end of the turn. It's a 2/2. Tree Monkey, 1 green. Can block only creatures with fly, and it's a 1/1. Oh, Trimmer, 1 red. Trimmer deals 1 damage to each creature without flying. Troken High Guard, which I think is a really cool art. I always like the Troken High Guard art. You know, it's a big old fancy shiny knight. It's got a sword. It's got a big old pistol there. So 1 white, 3 colors for a 3/3, and that's it. And he is a knight. Undo, 2 blue, 1 colors, returning 2 creatures from play to their owner's hands. So you got your little bounce spell. Now we're getting into some spicy stuff down here. Untamed Wilds. Everybody knows what this is. 1 green, 2 colors. Search the library for planes, island, all these keywords, and put that into play. Vampiric Spirit. 2 black, 2 colors. When Vampiric Spirit comes into play from your hand, you lose 4 life. That's because it's a flying 4/3. That is something else. Looks like art from some other set. Honestly, it looks like an Ice Age art rather than the Portal art. You know, funky. Vengeance. 1 white, 3 colorless. Destroying a 1-tap creature. That lady looks like she's handling her business. She straight gunned down that guy. It looks like a scene from a Western. I like it. Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. Volcanic Hammer. So 2-drop Volcanic Hammer does 3 damage to any 1 creature or player. So not quite as good as Lightning Bolt. So this is why Lightning Bolt was just so bomb at the time, because it's just 1 red to deal 3 damage. You know, Volcanic Hammer. So at the time, I would play a full suite of Lightning Bolts, right? Just like everybody else. A couple of Lava Axes, and then a full suite of Volcanic Hammer. And that's all I did. You know, I would just hit them. And it worked out pretty good. Like, they would swing at me to build up creatures, but I would just keep hitting them every turn. Take off 5, take off 3, take off 3. And eventually, especially when you're paying 20, you just get them all the way. Volunteer Militia. Hey, that's me because I was in National Guard. This is what my National Guard service looked like. So 1 white for a 1/2. Oh, man. And that's pretty much my service looked like. I showed up in jeans and a vest, and they gave me a pitchfork. And that's what we fought the terrorists with, pitchforks. If anybody that served overseas, this is pretty much as good as it gets. Warrior Stand, 1 white, 1 colorless. Play a Warrior Stand only after your attack before you declare blockers. All your creatures get +2/+2 until end of turn. Then we get Wild Griffin, and we're almost done here. So 1 white, 2 colors, flying for a 2/2. Then you got Wild Ox, 1 green, 3 colorless for a 3/3 with Swamp Walk. Oh boy, we'll save the best for last here. So Windcell, 1 blue, 1 colorless. Any 1 or 2 creatures gain flying until end of turn. Hey, that's pretty good. You know, you can give 2 creatures if you want flying until end of turn. And then you got Wildfire. This is something else. So 2 red, 4 colors. You destroy 4 of your lands, and your opponent destroys 4 of his or her lands. Then Wildfire deals 4 damage to each creature. I'll tell you what. Oh, I got to scroll up. You guys can't even see that. There it is. So it's sorcery speed, Wildfire, which is, this card right here. So I like this card. And, actually, what's interesting about this art is that this is pretty accurate as far as what they look like. Myself, that's my job. I'm a wildland firefighter boy, so I get to fight. Nothing this extreme. If this happened, we would probably all die, honestly. This is bad because you've got a wildfire coming from the volcano explosion there, and all the lava's racing down into the trees and just burning it up. You can't fight that. You're fucked, man. If that happens, especially in America, if that were to happen, that usually means that the world's about to end because one of our many dormant volcanoes has decided to just go the fuck off. And if it does, it's going to be like, I think they said like 10,000 nuclear blasts or something. It's really bad. But that's the set. That's everything. We've looked at it. This is part 2. you know, if you didn't already know that or pick up on it, we already did part 1 for Portal Second Age. 145 cards in this set, 15 lands, some, I don't know. I had the whole stats, but I didn't actually write them down. I was going to remember them. Anyway, that's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And stick around. This will be uploaded, obviously, after. The 10-minute video that I did will be uploaded before this one because it doesn't take as long. Hope you all have a good day, good night whenever you're listening to this. And keep listening because I will do a Thantis Warweaver rebuild and show that off with some of the things I've been kicking around my brain.